Hi, I'm Julianne, and today I'll be your navigator as we explore the topic of using our talents. In today's story, we read about Jesus telling his disciples a parable. I find that parables can be difficult to understand, and the disciples did too. They take a lot of time and deep thought for us to get at what Jesus is saying. This parable is about a man who will eventually become king, though many didn't want him to. The man gave his servants 4 months' wages and told them to use it and go about business with it until he returned from a trip. When the man returned, the first servant came to him and showed him that he had made 1,000 times what he was originally given. The second servant showed him that he had made 500 times what he was given. But the last told the king that he hadn't made anything because he had buried the wages in fear. Jesus is like the king in this story, and the servants are kind of like his followers. And the wages, I think, can be interpreted as the talents and gifts that we've been given by the Holy Spirit. Once we look at each part of this story and what it represents, we have a beautiful message about using what we've been given faithfully. We all have a unique set of gifts and talents that we've been given. Think about how sad it would be if when we died, we showed our gifts and talents to God and said, "Hey, I actually held on to these and didn't use them at all while I was on earth because I was so scared I was going to do something wrong and I didn't want to make you mad." The truth is that if God entrusted you with these gifts, God knows that you can use them for God's glory. So how do we make these gifts grow? We can't invest them in a bank or in the stock market. I believe that each of us has the opportunity to develop our gifts by sharing them with others. Jesus reminds us that whatever measure we give, we will receive. In God's kingdom, you grow your gifts by sharing them with others. The first 2 servants, they shared their gifts with others and they grew. Whereas the last, they let fear decide how they were going to use these gifts, and they ended up burying them and doing nothing with it. Jesus doesn't ask us to play it safe with the gifts that we've been given. He wants us to use them. And by doing so, these gifts will grow and they will help God's kingdom grow too. Now it's your turn. The servants that invested the wages invested in God's kingdom. What are ways you can invest in God's kingdom? The wages can also be interpreted more literally as money. What could God's message to us be if this parable is about our finances? Why might it take courage to share your gifts with others? Let's dive in.